This is Bob Barr bringing you another edition of Liberty Guard's Bob Barr's Laws of the Universe. Now, before we start, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media. The law of the universe that we're going to be talking about briefly today has to do with the ex-governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo. The law of the universe that this brings to mind is law of the universe number 23, which tells us, or reminds us actually, that tweets tend to backfire. And they live forever. You may think that, well, once you send a Twitter or an email out there, it's gone. You can remove it from your electronic device and it's gone. Not so. These things live forever in Twitter land, in email land, in the cloud. They're somewhere. And they have a tendency, these tweets have a tendency often to come back and bite you where you don't want to be bitten. And that is what happened to our recently departed governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo. I think he was elected first as governor of New York in 2010, so he started in office in 2011. A couple of years later, though, the good governor decided that it was time to tell everybody that he will not stand for sexual harassment. So he sends out a tweet. And this tweet says, there should be a zero tolerance policy when it comes to sexual harassment and must send a clear message that this behavior is not tolerated. Well, fine words, and they are words certainly, and depict a policy that certainly should be an important part of any governor's, any public official's job. But in this case, this was sent in 2013, 2 years after the good governor took office. And it came back to haunt him recently. You all may remember that recently the Attorney General for the state of New York, Letitia James, issued a report probably about a month or so ago, early this month, issued a scathing report against Governor Cuomo, detailing in excruciating detail various charges of sexual harassment in which he had engaged with various women, both, on his staff and others as well. Then, although the governor avowed that he would fight this, that none of it was true, that he was absolutely innocent of these charges that were detailed in the state attorney general's report. He then announced on August 10th that he would resign, and he has, in fact, resigned. So he is no longer the governor of New York. But it does remind us, and should remind public officials in particular, that tweets tend to backfire and they live forever, and they'll come back at the least convenient time. So the tweet here by former Governor Cuomo just reminded everybody what a contradiction he was in office, tweeting out there has to be a zero tolerance policy when it comes to sexual harassment. And then he engages over a long period of time in exactly what he tries to tell us that he was not going to do, and would be a very strict policy of his administration, that there would be no sexual harassment. Anyway, Bob Barr's Laws of the Universe, law number 23, tweets tend to backfire and they live forever, is something that was reminded to us, has been reminded to us by the good former governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, who I suspect probably regrets a lot of things, including that particular tweet that continues to live forever in Twitter land. And certainly pointed out the rank hypocrisy of this man while he was serving in office. But thank you for being with us today, and we look forward for you to be with us next time in another edition of Bob Barr's Laws of the Universe, brought to you by Liberty Guard. Thank you. This is Bob Barr, and I'd like to thank you for having checked out our program here today. We appreciate your support, your participation, and encourage you to go to libertyguard.org to learn more about our programs and also to help support to further individual freedom and fight against government abuse. One of the ways, but not the only way we do this, is through Bob Barr's Laws of the Universe, but through many, many other programs in support of individual liberty and against government abuse. So please remember to join us. Go to libertyguard.org and join us once again for Bob Barr's Laws of the Universe. Thank you.